Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are going on a seriously incredible journey together. I'm going to take you from being an absolute beginner to building a $1 million app clone. And we are going to do the whole shebang without writing a single line of code. I mean, we all know that feeling, right? Having this brilliant idea for an app or a business, but feeling completely paralyzed because, well, you don't know how to write in Python or Swift. If you felt kind of left out of this massive AI coding boom because you don't know how to program, this is exactly where you need to be. We're going to master an incredibly powerful tool called Claude Code to bring those ideas to life.
Here is our zero to hero map for today. First, introduction to Claude Code. 2, building your first website. 3, mastering custom AI skills. 4, essential commands and modes. 5, choosing the right model. And finally, number 6, building a $1 million app.
Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1, Introduction to Claude Code. What exactly is this thing?
So to really get what Claude Code is, you kind of need to know that Anthropic's Claude actually has 3 main lanes. First, there's Claude Chat. You're probably familiar with this. It's very similar to ChatGPT. You ask it questions, it gives you answers. Simple. Second, there's Claude Work, which helps execute end-to-end tasks directly on your laptop. But the third, and really the star of our explainer today, is Claude Code. This one is specifically designed for development and coding tasks. It's the engine you're going to use to build websites, mobile apps, or even really complex automation workflows. And you don't need to install complicated development environments or configure servers or any of that. The best part? You access all of these powerful capabilities through one single desktop application.
And getting started is just incredibly simple. It literally takes about 5 minutes. Step 1, go to the Claude website. Step 2, create a free account. And Step 3, just click Download Desktop Application. Once it's installed on your computer, you just open a new session, which basically acts like a fresh chat, and boom, you are instantly ready to start building just by typing out what you want in plain, everyday human language.
Let's move right along to Section 2, Building Your First Website. I want to show you some instant creation.
Imagine you want to build a personal website about your life and career, right? And let's say you absolutely love the bright, clean design of the entrepreneur Ankur Wariku's site. Well, you don't need to know how to code a single button. You literally just paste his website link into Claude Code and use a prompt like, I want to create a personal website similar to this. The AI might ask you a couple of really quick clarifying questions, like what your personal vibe is or what taglines you want to use. And within about 3 minutes, it generates a complete, high-quality, fully coded website inspired by that exact reference. I mean, it's just pure no-code magic.
Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is, well, Section 3, Mastering Custom AI Skills. This is the secret sauce for upgrading your app's design. Think of skills as basically specific superpowers you can teach your AI to make it an absolute expert at a certain task. There are 2 main ways to grab these. First, you've got default skills. These are provided right inside Claude by Anthropic, like algorithmic art, which you literally just click to install. But then you have marketplace skills. People out in the community build these and upload them to sites like claudemarketplaces.com. For instance, you could search for a highly specialized front-end design skill, copy it, and paste it right into your chat. Suddenly, your AI has this completely upgraded, expert-level sense of design for any app or website you ask it to build.
But what if the exact skill you want just doesn't exist out there? Well, you can actually tell Claude to create it from scratch. Remembering that we're just typing plain English here, you type, create a skill for making mobile game aesthetics similar to Angry Birds. In about 5 seconds, Claude learns it. Then for Step 2, you say, apply this Angry Birds design skill and build a game like Flappy Bird. And guys, in under 5 minutes, Claude writes all the logic, the physics, the visual code, and you have a fully playable viral-style mobile game clone running right there in your browser. It's wild.
All right, let's pivot a bit to the mechanics in Section 4, Essential Commands and Modes. We need to know how to keep things running smoothly. As you're building, you're going to see this little icon tracking your context window. Think of the context window as the AI's short-term memory or chat history for that specific building session. Claude gives you a limited amount of space here. If that hits around 81% full, we have a real problem. Every single time you type a new message, the AI has to reread that entire massive history again just to understand what's going on. It's literally like rereading an entire book just so you can write the next sentence. This drastically slows the AI down and, crucially, wastes your daily token limit, which basically means you're just throwing money away.
So how do we fix that? You just type a / to access your commands and hit /compact. This is a total game changer. It brilliantly frees up context space by compressing and summarizing everything you've talked about so far. It totally cleans up that 81% full window, saves your tokens, and keeps Claude running super fast. Oh, and by the way, if you ever get confused about what any command does, just ask Claude directly. It'll explain it to you right there.
You also have these 4 operating modes, ranging from least independent to totally flying solo. In Ask Permissions mode, the AI stops and asks you before taking even the tiniest action. At the total opposite end, Auto mode lets the AI work entirely on its own, just rapidly executing code. But if you're a beginner, your absolute sweet spot is Accept Edits. This lets the AI do all the heavy lifting and all the coding, but it acts as your safety net. It gives you a chance to review what it's doing before anything is finalized.
Which brings us to Section 5, choosing the right model. This is absolutely crucial. You have to pick the right brain for the job so you don't overspend.
So Claude frequently releases different models. Haiku is the most basic and the fastest one. Sonnet is your balanced middle ground, and Opus is the most advanced, but it's also the most expensive when it comes to token usage. A lot of people, especially beginners, think, oh, I'll just use Opus for everything because it's the smartest. Actually, scratch that. It's a huge trap. Opus uses massive amounts of computational power for really complex reasoning that you just do not need for a simple website or app. It will burn through your daily limits so fast. For like 99% of your everyday coding, website building, and app creation, Sonnet is exactly what you need. It hits that perfect sweet spot of high performance without wasting all your resources.
And all of those basics lead us perfectly to our grand finale, Section 6, Building a $1 Million App. Let's put this all together.
I really want to let that number sink in for a second. $100 million. In the US, a 19-year-old kid built a simple AI app called Cal AI. It generates millions in revenue and was recently acquired by MyFitnessPal for a reported $100 million. And the craziest part? We are going to build a clone of this exact concept right now using Claude Code.
The concept of this app is brilliantly simple, right? Users upload a picture of their food, the app automatically calculates the total calories in that meal using AI visual recognition, and then it tracks their daily calorie intake over time. To build this ourselves, we just open a new session in Claude Code and type that exact feature list into one single sentence. 10 minutes later, Claude Code builds the entire app. It builds the sleek upload interface, the back-end tracking system, the whole 9 yards. Historically, you'd need an expert team of developers, UI designers, and literally months of time to build this. Now, it takes a single text prompt and 10 minutes.
We just went from a basic everyday setup to a $1 million app concept in a matter of minutes. The barrier to entry for building incredible software is just gone. You just learned how to build a highly valuable app clone without writing a single line of code yourself. So I guess the only real question left for us today is, what AI app are you going to build next? Seriously, think about it, drop your best